What's up, guys? How you doing? We're going to continue reading. It's just been a few minutes. I just took my dog for a walk outside, and I was listening to the previous readings from said The Horned One. Now I'm going to continue. Give me a moment to settle in. I figured, what a better time to read The Gate of the Horned One, of the Beast, as we were going through Leo season. Right now we're sitting on top of the Aquarius pot, so we're on top of everything. So, let's go. Looks green, doesn't it? Looks like we're in. The Aeon of blank. We already read that. The primacy of nature and revival of Pan. Keeping all of this in mind, it is important for the reader to see the flexibility and the fluidity in this whole framework. A prime tenet of Pan magic is that multiple views, interpretations, or aspects can all be true at the same time. That it is simply a shift of perception that makes something seem to be X or Y. Within the Pan consciousness, it is all intellectual twaddle anyways. Bliss and play are what is truly real. The amorality of the Pan current is the amorality of the play of pure nature, of survival, fight, flight, predator, prey, or of simply living the best one can in the environment one is given without any divine restrictions in terms of right and wrong. Some groups, like Satanists, take this to mean that might is right, that one should always be selfish and take what one wants. But this is just not the way things are in nature. Many animals live communally, where hive or clan loyalty equals survival and prosperity. Herds the prime organizational structure of horned animals. Likely, it may be that this is why the horns were worn by the clan shaman or leader, two positions being often the same in tribal cultures even today. Thus, hyper-individualism is not the way of nature and not a basis of Pan magic. Integration, an intuitive, non-intellectual connection between the adept and nature, real wilderness, is the key to all of this making sense. Why do we need Pan magic? Because, as the great Pan whispers in the following book of Gate, we have forgotten the primacy of nature that is around us, and more importantly, which is us. Long ago, humans, one with the natural world, and the image of this time still resonates in our myths of the half-man, half-animal, and the beast man, woman, the wild man, woman of the woods. Many evolutionary biologists argue about when the big cognitive shift away from this in mankind happened. Julian Jaynes argues that a split in the bicameral mind suddenly offered an external voice of God appearing in human minds. I don't know what that word means. I need to look it up. I've never seen that word before. What is it? B-I-C-A-M. Of a legislative body having two branches or chambers. Okay, so Julian Jaynes argues that a split in the bicameral mind often, okay, it was right there. Inferring. Suddenly offered an external voice of God appearing in human minds. Others trace the fall from nature, grace, to our fully adopting functioning intellectual language, the first words. And still others point to the external perceived control of the environment and the environment that is the birth of civilization. In any event, every culture has some sort of species memory of the time before the fall. Most call it the Golden Age, when mankind lived longer in perfect harmony. It is remarkable that these legends of a Golden Age are very similar, whether they are embedded in Chinese, Greek, Hindu, Mayan, or other mythologies. It is the thesis of this magical system that we did for a long time period have a special bond with nature, that we were more closely attuned to animals by being one. And that as a primate family, we retained sixth sense of the animal kingdom, sensing things that over many centuries we have forgotten. Yet we have always known deep down with our shared stories that we are missing something, that we have somehow fallen or lost that special time in special consciousness. During the Industrial Revolution, the fixation of the god Pan, representing all of nature and thus all that we have lost, became huge in England and throughout Europe. The filthier the air, water became, the more artificial work and life became, the more people yearned for that deep connection with nature that they unconsciously knew was the core source of personal joy, natural sexuality, and vitality. So they turned to Pan. As things have progressed, the stifled need for Pan and for the power of the relink with nature. Religion becomes from religious equals relink is needed more today than ever. I just noticed how this person hasn't said I a single time. Oh, I guess they have. Not I. They just said I right there. They never say the word I. It must mean they went to the university. To a university. I think that's what, maybe not. I didn't go to college, so I don't know. But I didn't go to college. Can you tell? I could be smarter. This person's very good at writing. I've noticed, just to make it quick, like, just to point out something, the tone in the writing is so much different than a lot of the things we see today. Everything's like so much easier, like it's easier to write with AI, and I feel like AI it just has a different tone to it, in my opinion. I can feel the person writing this as they were writing it, like every single word that they put down and in the way that they put it down, you can feel their train of thought. When sometimes I feel like AI is more difficult to follow. I can feel what they were feeling as they were writing it, if that makes sense. Well, AI doesn't feel, so they don't really have that same tone to their writing. Occult eruptions throughout modern history always seems to coincide with with a new bohemianism, a new sexuality, a new practice of joy and intoxication and bliss. And at every occult revival, in the middle of the erupting chaos, there is a great god, Pan. Crowley, in his magic and theory practice, prefaces the book with his hymn to Pan. The hippies used the image of Pan all over their posters and in, what is that? Sorry, just a second. Okay, go. So Crowley, in his magic and theory practice, prefaces the book with his hymn to Pan. The hippies used the image all over their posters and in their revels. Truly, the animal man, woman, is the very image of the hippie. So this book merely is a new eruption of a force that has, like magma, bubbling below the crust of the earth, lain dormant only for short periods in our history, erupting time and again in every culture under many different guides and with different ripples of casualty, but always with a horned and smiling face, and always leaving the print of the cloven hoof. I should really get to work, guys. I just wanted to read that last little bit. So that's like the third reading we've done. I'm just doing a couple pages at a time. I'll be back to do more. It's 10 minutes, not a lot, but I was just, I'm interested. I want to keep going, but I actually do have to go to work now. So I'm sending you all so much love and light and happiness and darkness and anger and whatever else you need. Gotta go now. Bye.